Hello, everyone. I know I've been away for how long? But just to know, I'm not dead. I'm far from it, actually. I'm very much alive. Well, kind of. If you consider doing medical stuff being alive, then yeah. If not, I'm not. Anyways, enough about my slave labor schooling. I'm gonna bring up this one. Because during my little break, because of schooling, I've been playing a couple games. Most predominantly, mobile games, yes, because didn't have much time for gaming on AAA level. But there was one AAA series that I played my heart out during my little break. I think y'all should know that, the Mafia series. So I decided, you know what? I'm gonna put the concept of the Mafia games into my hero and see how it happens. Now, some of you may ask, is this a what if deku? No. This is just, technically it is. I'm calling it officially what if deku had a run-in with the Mafia. But unofficially, this is just me inputting a custom character into my hero following the lines of the Mafia games. So, let me introduce you the characters. Our main character. Okay. Everyone, I'd like to introduce to you Alice Scaletta. Yes, Scaletta. Because if you follow the Mafia series, you know that Vito Scaletta, killer of Tommy Angelo, and leader of the Scaletta family, in Mafia 3, you can choose to either kill him or let him go, or work with him. My thing I'm doing is, well, just what if the Scaletta family was more than meets the eye? So now then, let's start the story, shall we? We begin the story in America, in Mafia's fictional city of Empire Bay, the hometown of Vito Scaletta. Even though that is not the place where Vito and his mafia were stationed, or were based, this is Alice, and she is here. She lived here. She lives here with a part of the Scaletta family. Most prominently, the Vito side. And thus, the story begins. We begin zooming into an inconspicuous house on a hill. Everyone should know this house. This is the house of Vito Scaletta, his very fancy house. The one that you get during chapter 7, if I remember. That later gets burned down in chapter 9. Or not, I just finished playing the game, I don't remember. Anyways, we get zoomed into a meeting. In a basement, we see Alice, or a young woman with long black hair, golden eyes, and she seems to be wearing the traditional mafia attire, which is a tux and a fedora. She seems to be looking over at someone tied to a chair when she speaks. Now, I can't do an Italian accent, or even a American Italian accent, so don't even bug me about it. I will try my best, though. It might turn Scottish, but I will try my best. Now, let me bring it to you straight. You will tell me what you know, and you will, if I don't find your answer satisfactory, I'll have to give you a little encouragement, if you catch my drift. The person in the chair is shaking their head no, like they're not going to say anything. So, Alice decides to use her quirk. Well, now then, you're not going to tell me the information? Oh, sorry there, friend. Looks like you'll need a little encouragement. As Alice walks up to the person, looks them dead in the eyes, and simply says, "You will tell me what you know, but for now, you will feel pain." As she says, "You will feel pain," screaming reverbs through the area. Reverbs through the house. Because Alice's quirk, called... I will actually get that later, but you'll see. But the person, a male, who seems to be dressed in investigator attire, a detective attire, finally speaks. All right, please make it stop. I can't. Please make it stop. Alice simply gives him a very sadistic smile and says, "I'll make it stop when you tell me what you know." With the guy finally breaking, okay. The governor, he's hunting. We have people looking for your family. The anti-skeleton plan is in effect. They're hunting you. They're hunting you all. Now please, I don't know anything else. I do know there's one bit of info. There'll be an Empire Bay by tomorrow. Alice simply smiles and says, "Release. You shall be relieved." As that deactivates her quirk, and the guy doubles over and just breathes heavily. You're terrifying. I don't know how the others are gonna handle you. If your quirk activates like that. As Alice simply just smiles, saying, "Don't worry. How about this? I'll give you, let's say, 50K. And you leave town. How about that? You leave town and forget about your job." Does that work for you? As the detective friendly nods, saying, yes, that works. And as such, Alice keeps the guy in his basement, saying, "I'll let you go when the heat dies down. Sounds fair?" The guy nods, and Alice leaves her house, because she has somewhere to go. Okay, now we follow Alice in a sports car. She's driving down to an area. When she reaches this area, she knocks on a suspicious metal hatch. As it opens, and then we see a man who looks similar to Alice, wearing classic mafia attire, being a tux, an overcoat, and a fedora. This man, however, speaks in a heavy speaks to her. Madam Dawn, Dawn Scaletta, you're here. You came to visit. That's odd. There's something going on. As Alice nods and saying, "Gather the boys. We've got to break out of here. We're compromised. The feds will be on our asses. We'll be on our asses by morning." As was presumably her lieutenant nods and frantically goes inside to do some calls. Alice decides to, make calls of her own by calling a person she trusts. As a phone rings. And finally, the call connects, saying, "Empire Bay Police Department. Sergeant Jackson speaking." Where Alice signs saying, "Sergeant Jackson, it's Scaletta. I have a favor I want to ask." With Sergeant Jackson saying, "Of course, Miss Scaletta. What would you need?" Alice thinks about it and nods, saying, Can you get me half a plane's worth of tickets to Japan? Like, right now?" The call goes silent for a second. And then with Sergeant Jackson saying, "I'll see what I can do." "Why?" With Alice simply telling Jackson, "We have some feds coming down to Empire Bay. So I would recommend you and your boys decide to lay low for a while as well once we leave." Jackson nodding and saying, "Will do, Miss Scaletta." Now, with Alice simply asking, "Now, how much do I owe you for this, Jackson?" With Sergeant Jackson saying, "Give me 5 times my usual rate. My usual favor price." With Alice saying, "All right, I can do that. I'll give it to your man who gives us the tickets on the airport, okay?" With Jackson saying, "You got it. You got it, boss. Have fun on your vacation." "Will do, Jackson. Keep me updated. Call me on my burner phone if the situation changes. Call me if the situation and the heat dies down. I'll return as fast as I can." With Jackson saying, "Will do, Miss Scaletta." And thus, we fast forward a couple weeks. The Scaletta family have successfully evacuated Empire's Bay and are now in Japan. Most specifically, everyone should know by now, in Masafu. Thanks to some connections that one of her people have, she managed to get a good big area. She founded her business, the Scaletta Real Estate Agency. But that's just her cover operation. But this is where we end our little tour with Alice. And this is when we switch over to a police department in Masafu. Because The Skeletor family, well, mostly Alice and a couple people, had to register as citizenships. And at the police department, they're looking over the quirk registry. This is where they see, hey, like, Detective Sumaguchi, or how he pronounced his name, Mr. Lie Detector. Like, yes, what is it, officer? Look at this file. Alice Scaletta. With Sumaguchi saying, Scaletta? Isn't that the name of an old mobster family that's been wiped out? With the officer nodding and agreeing, saying, yeah, that's it. Do you think, like, one of their members, maybe she's probably the last member of their family and decided to go legit? And decided not to follow her family's footsteps and go legit? With Sumaguchi saying, could be. That is a possibility. The Skelettas are weird. Vito Scaletta, the mob family's founder, was originally a World War II soldier. So it's weird, but not impossible to know. Sorry. Anyways, it's like, yes, and her quirk definitely is unique. And what's her quirk, officer? It's called Words of Encouragement. It says here that individual words can be used as catalysts for devastating powers, devastating effects. Like if she says pain, like says to someone to feel pain, they will feel pain. But if someone says like, you will feel relieved, I'm pretty sure she will give them feel relieved as well. Out of character, that's false. Words of encouragement, words of quote-unquote encouragement, is her real quirk name. I got rid of, the officers don't know because Alice got rid of the quotation marks in her quirk name. Just think of her actual quirk as a more mafia version of what the officers are talking about. Now, we go back into character, and with Sumaguchi saying, that is indeed a powerful quirk. But I'm guessing her downsides are that a person has to be able to hear her, and her biggest weaknesses are people who ignore her words. Her biggest weaknesses are probably deaf people, or people with ear protection, earplugs and the likes. With the officer saying, could be, we don't know how her quirk works. It only says words of encouragement and now saying and what it does. She probably hasn't tested it out much. With Sumaguchi saying, I get it. She probably hasn't used it more than outside of her real estate business. Still, find it weird that the Skeletor real estates came to Japan. Anyways, let's report all the non-abnormities to the commission. Everything. You're good for today, so you're done for today. And now we'll fast forward to where Alice turns 18, because that's right. Alice was 16 and 14 when she came and controlled the family. But fast forward to when she's 18. Alice Scaletta. No. Fast forward when she's 18. This is when we switch over to another POV. One for everyone's favorite greenette. Or motated, depending on which side of the fandom you're on. Izuku Midoriya. Izuku Midoriya and Inko Midoriya were strapped for cash. Izuku just graduated from high school and was ready to apply for UA college. But he needed the money. So when his mother decided to work for the Scaletta real estate agency, Izuku got curious and decided to look up the agency itself. He learned that while the agency has been written off to have sinister dealings, and be sort of suspicious, no officers can tie them to any incident. Their founder and CEO, Alice Scaletta, is very young in the field, but she commands respect amongst her employees. Even Izuku's mother says that Alice is a really good boss. One day during a job visit to hand his mother some lunch because she forgot to pack some for herself, Izuku comes directly face to face with Alice. With Alice striking up conversation. Hey, kid. No, wait. Scratch that. Izuku is still his canon age and he's getting ready for UA High School. Because I have a different story in mind. No ships. Because after all, this story is what if Deku had a run-in with the mafia. With Alice looks down to Izuku saying, "Hey, kid. You're Izuku Midoriya, correct?" Alice, despite her time living in Japan, still has barely a grasp on the language. Izuku, understanding that Alice is still probably learning Japanese, nods and saying, "Yes," says in English, "Yes, Miss Scaletta, I'm Izuku Midoriya." And Alice simply nods, saying, "Ah, your English is impeccable, my friend. Now tell me, why is someone like you out here? Visiting your mother?" With Izuku nodding, saying, "Yeah, my mom forgot to pack some lunch for herself." With Alice looking at Izuku, saying, "Ah, so you're the kid that Inko's been talking about, huh?" Well, it's finally to know what Mrs. Midoriya talks about so much. You know, if she keeps up the good work, I'm gonna have to give her a promotion. But, there are more opportunities for you to earn cash. If you ever feel the need of it, contact me. Here's my business card. I'll get you in touch with some more of my associates." Izuku nods and goes off to find his mother. Alice, meanwhile, thinks to herself, "That boy's gonna be hard to break if what his mother says is true. If what Inko says is true. That boy is a hero fanatic. It would truly take someone desperate to work for us willingly." Speaking of, that war with the Chihasekai is going strong. Those damn Yakuza. They can never leave us alone, can't they? They always gotta butt into our business. Can't they just learn to stay out of our rackets and we'll stay out of theirs, for God's sake? Is it that hard to ask? I'm gonna have to talk with Overhaul again to call off his goddamn men and stop intruding into our territory. Now, we fast forward to the end of Izuku's junior high days. Because let's be honest, this is just a little prequel chapter. As you all know, I do these for just to see you guys like stories like this. Anyways, Izuku, on the way home, runs into the slime villain and gets saved by All Might. But after being told by All Might that you can't be a hero without a quirk, he pulls out Alice's card and says, "She did say she'll get me in contact with associates. And if what I've been digging about if the things and the rumors are true that the Scaletta real estate agency is not all legal, they can probably train me to be a hero or be one of their best men. I'll do it. I'm calling her. I have nothing else to live for anyways. My dream was crushed by my hero, by my idol. So, I'll sell my soul to the devil. Or at least what I hope is the devil." Izuku brings out his phone and dials Alice's number. After a few seconds, the call connects, and the first thing Izuku hears is a gunshot, saying, "This is Scaletta. May I ask who's calling? For reasons." Izuku stuttering, saying, "Miss Scaletta, it's Izuku Midoriya, Inko's son." Instantly, Alice's voice cheers up, saying, "Ah, Izuku. How have you been, kid? It's been a couple months since I last saw you. Tell me, why'd you... I'm assuming you called me from my business number. My business card. So what'd you need, kiddo? Need money? I can get you in contact with those associates I was talking about." With Izuku saying, "That's... Miss Scaletta, can you drop the act? No, you do illegal business practices, right?" Alice's tone drops, saying, "You got a smart mind, kid. There's rumors. They were originally made for the press to give our company some legality. But all rumors have some truth to them. So you have a good eye to spot that those rumors are true." "Thank you. So is it true?" It's like, "Of course it's true. Tell you what, Izuku. Meet me at the real estate agency. I'll show you what we really do. 'Cause I'm assuming you want to join?" Yes." With Alice asking, "Normally, I wouldn't question it. But because you're Inko's son, I have to ask. Why the sudden desire to join us?" Hero crushed dream, with Izuku mumbling and Alice only being able to pick out some words. Hero crushed dreams. With Alice on her end thinking, so the little green egg got his dreams crushed by a hero. I'm assuming from what Inko's told me that he most likely ran into All Might and asked if he could be a hero despite his quirkless status. And I'm assuming, judging how he called me, he said no, and Izuku has nowhere to go, and he remembered our rumors. That's a clever kid. Huh. It would be nice to have a hero on our family side. I know I bought a few off, but that damn hero killer has been killing off all my corrupted heroes, so I need someone like him." With Alice coughing into her hand, saying, Izuku, calm down. You're stuttering again. You're stuttering, man. You're stuttering, kid. Calm down. Izuku saying, sorry, Miss Scaletta. So can I join the illegal? With Alice saying, kid, let me ask you, do you still want to be a hero? With Izuku nodding his head and saying, yes, I still do, but I can't really be one without a quirk. Alice simply smiles, and Alice on her end smiles and says, tell you what, kid, I'll get you in contact with an associate. He owes me a few favors for some things I did for him back in Empire Bay. So I'll see if he can give you a quirk with no strings attached. How's that sound? No, wait, no. I'm not gonna do the all-for-one route. Ooh, better yet. Follow up with the mafia stuff. How about this, kid? I'll train you to be a vigilante. And what you do with those skills is up to you. You can go non-lethal, you can go hero, you can join us, or you can go down your route. I just have one condition for you, Izuku Midoriya. Izuku saying what that condition would be. When we call for you, you answer. We'll train you. And everything for up until you join UA. Or whatever you do. But when we call for you and ask for a favor, you take that you follow along. Got that, kid? With Izuku nodding up and down in his head and saying, yes, I will. Thank you, Miss Scaletta. Thank you so much. With Alice simply saying, hey, it's no problem, kid. You got a good heart on you. And sure, we might deal some illegal practices, but we don't deal with more villainy stuff. We just deal with average stuff. So, kid, enjoy your time. And thus, Izuku goes off to meet Alice, and Alice shows him one of her legal rackets. Well, one of her illegal rackets, and only one of them. Izuku knows that Alice deals with illegal substances, like cocaine and stuff like that. And she says this is the only illegal practice she does, which is a big fat lie. She deals with a lot. But for the sake of keeping Izuku on her side, she says that it's the only one she deals with. And Izuku falls for the lie, hook, line, and sinker. Especially after learning that his own mother is a part of that business as well, being a trafficker. Well, no, she'll keep being out of it. But learning that still they do their best to keep out of the spotlight, and if a person's caught, they're caught. They don't try to break them out or anything. It's the Scaletta family rule. Izuku then asks about the money she earns from all this illegal activity. She says that we don't keep it. We give it to the people who need it the most. As Izuku gets shown to the homeless shelter, with Alice being welcomed by all the homeless people, as they'll welcome her and everything and ask how she's doing, how's the business, and everything. With Alice giving Izuku lesson number 1. Here's lesson number 1, kid. No hero, or in my case, anti-villain, can be complete without a public backing. The more backing you have from public, the more chance you have a way with people. So, treat people kindly. They're bound to help you in return. It's like, as Alice says, it's why heroes like All Might's popular, because he helps people. Granted, he gets a spotlight because he's a limelight hero. But heroes like, as she mentions, Eraserhead, because she's had her couple run-ins with that hero in particular. Heroes like Eraserhead don't get much spotlight, but doesn't mean they're not popular. They just have a smaller fan base because they don't like the spotlight. With Alice bringing up Eraserhead's case, saying, for Eraserhead, he doesn't care much for the media attention, but he truly cares for the people he cares about. He protects. As Alice shows Izuku to the orphanage. As it says, Eraserhead constantly drops by here to check on the kids who are abandoned by society. Be it quirkless people with villainous quirks, or people who just couldn't get to a good home after a villain's had killed their parents, or vice versa. People like that is what my group strives to protect, and is what you should strive to protect as well. No one is complete without getting help from the public. As Izuku takes this lesson to heart, and legitimately agrees with a lot of Alice's sayings. With Izuku saying, I never knew people suffered. I knew I had it bad, but it's like, hero is not being a hero or a morally good villain is not all black and white. You have to make sacrifices. Now, my question to you is, Izuku Midoriya, are you willing to make those sacrifices? Izuku, at first, is hesitant. But later nods his head, saying, I do. I want to make a difference, no matter what. With Alice smiling, saying, then, Izuku Midoriya, I would like to welcome you as a member of the Skeletor family mob. And that's all ended, because I think this is a good place to end it, guys. Tell me if I should change anything or should add anything to this. Or maybe you want me to make it, or do you want me to make another character to give Izuku someone to be attached to in the mob? Like a figure he can see as a little sister, or hell, even a mobster girlfriend. That's not Alice, because my plan for Alice is that she's going to be this kind of big sister guardian figure to Izuku. So Alice being that kind of thing's out the window. So everyone, I hope you enjoyed this my little comeback, and I hope you guys take care. Ta-ta!